So while you were in Africa, I know you had these experiences in with the animals and with your friends, the people you were with. Did you also have a in-depth experience in a local school? Were you able to
I
experience
did.
that as well?
I did. Well, my friend Jay left, and it was just me by myself. And we were in Nairobi, and he was catching a flight back. And I wanted to fly out because I really wanted to see, the Indian Ocean. So I flew out to Mombasa, and I stayed in North Mombasa in this place called Nyali. And it was a really cool experience. I was in a hostel. There was this gorgeous Israeli girl there. There was this other girl from what was she, Swedish? Yeah, Sweden, who was like teaching down there at a different school. And I befriended this young man from Nigeria, and him and I became fast friends. And he was volunteering at this school, and he asked me if I wanted to come out, and I was like, sure, I'll come out and meet the kids, whatever, and it sounded like a good experience. So I went out there, and the headmaster was this really nice lady, and she said, okay, well, I have a class scheduled for you. And I was like, you have a what? And she was like, yeah, you're a teacher, right? And I was just like, no, I'm not, and she was like, well, do you want to do it anyway? And I'm like, what is going on here? I'm like, once again, I'm in a tank top, I've got like sandals on. I wouldn't want to be taught by me, I just look like some scrub from Little 5 Points trying to find himself, and whatnot. She wants me to be an educator, so I'm like, okay, you know what, whatever, F it. Okay, so I go into this classroom that's this dirt floor, and it has they're fifth grade students. And and she like literally is just like, the podium is yours. And I'm like, okay. I had no idea what to do, so I just reverted back to my favorite Robin Williams characters, and I decided to put a Robert Frost poem on the chalkboard. And it was, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages henceforth, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made
Hmm.
all the difference. And I put that on the board, and I read it, and then I asked them all what they thought. And I don't know, I just got crickets, they're just sort of like, what is this idiot doing? And then I just sort of dissected about how there's nothing more braver than just being yourself in a world that tries to get you to be like everyone else. There's going to be two
Yeah.
paths in your life. Why don't you take the one in which you're true to yourself? And that just sort of like broke this sort of like icy barrier between them and I. And over the next couple of weeks, I attended school and got them ready for some standardized testing that they had. And it was just mainly, I was in fifth grade, so the main thing I was just concentrating was on reading comprehension. In Kenya, kind of like the home language is Swahili.
Hmm.
However, they've been colonized by the British, and they weren't freed until, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, as 1964, I think, was when
Hmm.
they finally were sovereign autonomy from the UK. And
Right.
so English is kind of like their business language, So I
Yeah.
wasn't having to teach them English, but what I was doing was helping them sharpen, their language skills, which can benefit anyone at any time.
Yes.
So I fell in love with it. I had this little girl that was just this brilliant young lady, and she asked me, did I feel uncomfortable being the only white person in town? She was so blunt. And I had this special moment with her where I just sort of like got down on one knee and I said, Khalifa, there is absolutely nowhere in the world I'd rather be than here.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You said
that
there's
was it.
nowhere I'd rather be than here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And I'm sure you meant it.
I did. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a fantastic thing to just sort of be in the present. I've had difficult times in my life in which I was, either haunted by the past or anxious by the future. Like being truly present and knowing where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be is a very abundant feeling. And I had that when I was there. Yeah.